This year, at Watches and Wonders, Nomos released 31 new, bold, and colorful Tangente 38 dates. I made a video last week about all the specifications, things you need to know, and my first impressions after seeing these in the metal. And now, I've just received a parcel with even more models that I can't wait to show you. But today, I really want to talk about the wearing experience. I feel like watch reviewers like me can sometimes get so lost in the deep weeds of movement specifications and water resistance that we can forget that the wearing experience is kind of the most important aspect and thing you look for when buying a watch. Sometimes, specification-wise, a watch can sound absolutely perfect, but then you get it on wrist and it just doesn't work. And if you are a card-carrying member of the Itty Bitty Wrist Committee, this is something you know all too well. But this is also one of the biggest reasons why Nomos has always worked for me. Their designs wear really well on lots of different wrist sizes and styles, while also remaining timeless. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and this channel is completely dedicated to the beauty and awesomeness of timekeeping. Something I need to say before we get into the meat, this video is sponsored by Nomos. They asked if I wanted to make a few videos about these newest releases, which is honestly kind of a dream come true for me. I've been such a lover of the brand for years now. The first mechanical watch I ever owned was a Nomos. So to be in a place now where they want to work with me and collaborate with me, it's crazy. So thank you so much to Nomos for sponsoring this video and letting me get hands-on with even more watches. Should we look at the new colors first? So we've got the Love model through, Canary, Pop Orange, Pompadour, Super Sardine, Ariel, and Chili. Those are the ones I can easily say, now listen to my Canadian accent, absolutely ruin the German language. We have Zirkus, Lakritz, Haifischgrau, Schneesturm, and Nachtgesang. You might find this hard to believe, but I actually looked up and researched how to say those. And I still know that can't be right. Especially that last one. Now let's talk about the wearing experience. So all of these models have a case diameter of 37.5 millimeters, a thickness of 6.8 mil, so they're really quite thin, and a lug-to-lug of 47.7 millimeters. These dimensions, right off the bat, are Goldilocks. They're just right. For a dressier style watch, 37 to 38 millimeters is the sweet spot for so many people, and this really works for a huge range of wrist sizes. Like here, this one is on my 5.5-inch wrist, which is a smaller size wrist, versus my husband's 7-inch wrist, which is a pretty average men's wrist size. I think these look completely in place on both of our wrists. I slightly prefer it on him. I think just the right amount of strap is showing, just the right proportions. But still, I think this looks great on my smaller wrist as well. I describe Nomos watches as pretty genderless. Like a man and a woman, or someone with smaller wrists or someone with larger wrists, can wear the same watch and still rock it. Nomos have a very distinct design language that I freaking love, but I know they're not for everyone. But I think anything with a distinct design language, not everyone's gonna like. And that's kind of the point of it. They're so themselves, and they're not trying to be anyone else. I've never looked at a Nomos model and thought, hey, that kind of looks like this watch or that watch, because you can't. They are so German and Bauhaus, functional but still playful, whimsical but almost industrial, maybe not industrial, but architectural. Although I wouldn't say the Tangente is their dressiest watch, I'd probably reserve that for the Ludwig. I'd still class this as a dress watch, but with a sporty flair, with that textile, almost NATO feeling strap, date, and minute track. You can wear these pretty casually, or dress them up, and they still look completely in place. My husband and I have very different styles and aesthetics. He's very casual, street style, bright, funky. He prefers to dress down. Like, his most worn article of clothing is probably these bright pink sweatpants. James,
Brother.
what would you say your most worn article of clothing is? What's your favorite?
Probably my pink jogging pants.
Yeah. You just gotta let people be themselves. So since our styles are so different, I asked him, how would you wear the Tangente? How would you style this watch? And here's how he interpreted it. so much more dressed down. I love the way a dressier watch looks in sweats or a more dressed down outfit, but even though he mostly dresses down in his free time, he can pull it together when it's time to dress up, and his work attire is business casual. And this watch looks totally in place in his work clothes. I think sometimes people feel scared of dressier watches because they think there's a way that they're supposed to wear it, when really there's so many ways to style a dressier piece. I'm nowhere near as casual as James. I prefer to dress smarter, and I would always rather be overdressed than underdressed. Me at my most casual would be jeans and a sweater, which I think is still pretty casual. So here's how I wear the Tangente. I love it with a big chunky sweater, dresses. Honestly, this kind of goes perfect with my everyday style. I've always felt more at home with dressier watches, and it's actually dress watches that got me into watches in the first place. But of course, the big thing with this launch is the colors. Some of the colors are a bit more subdued, like the Ariel or Schneesturm. And then some are pretty bold and out there, like Chili and Pop Orange. But I really do think there's a colorway for each unique person and their color expression. Like, for me, well, I would say we're a pretty colorful family, as displayed by James's love of his bright pink track pants, and my personal nomos is the deep pink Club Campus. So colorways like the Chili are right up my alley, but I completely understand that this might be too bold for some. I think sometimes people think in order to wear a colorful watch, you need to wear an all-black outfit or a monochrome outfit, and you don't. They still look great with monochrome, like here's the Super Sardine with a pretty monochrome look. Looks great, but it also works with a more colorful outfit. Your watch should be an expression and an extension of you. I feel like I always overshare about my time at the Nomos Forum back in September, which I'm gonna do again right now, but there's a memory that I have and it's so vivid. We were in Dresden and Glashutte, and I just couldn't believe I was in Germany. It was my first time in this amazing country that I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd ever be able to go to, you know? And one of the things I noticed was so many people were wearing Nomos watches. And this is just walking around Dresden. This isn't Nomos employees. But I saw so many people wearing these watches and how well it worked with the German style. And it made me think, oh, yeah, I could totally wear a Tetra now that I see how someone else has styled it. Or there was a woman at the Nomos Forum. I think she was a designer for Nomos, but she was wearing a larger Ahoy model. And it looked so cool. That was a model I would have never thought I could wear. I thought I'd be way sized out of it. But seeing someone else wear it and how she styled it made me realize, like, oh, I could wear that. That could suit me. So I've been ending these videos by talking about which watch is my favorite now that I've been hands-on with a few more. I'm gonna make like a March Madness pool and put it on the screen right now. So last video it was the Schlossgrün and Tiefseegrau. My favorites of this lot is probably a tie between Super Sardine, I just love blue so much, and Lakritz. But my ultimate favorite so far, it's probably still the Schlossgrün. Oh, it's so close. But anyways, guys, let me know in those comments down below, do you prefer bold watches, out there watches, or a little bit more subdued? Thank you once again to Nomos for sponsoring this video and sending me so many watches through. And now, let's thank the gorgeous, fabulous, never done anything wrong in their lives ever Pope tier patrons.